What if everything you have been struggling to change about your life could shift in a single night? Not through effort, not through willpower, not through another strategy or plan or technique you found on the internet, but through something so simple it almost feels like it should not work. Something so quiet you might miss it entirely if you were not paying attention. Tonight, I am going to share something with you that sits at the very edge of what most people are willing to accept. And I need to be honest with you before we go any further. There is a reason this is not talked about openly. There is a reason you will not hear this in most classrooms or self-help seminars or even in most spiritual teachings. Because what I am about to walk you through does not just challenge what you believe about reality. It dismantles it. Quietly, irreversibly, from the inside out. And all it asks of you is one night, one single night of listening differently. Not to me, not to words, but to the frequency beneath the words, to the silence between the thoughts, to the signal your body has been trying to send you for years that keeps getting drowned out by the noise of a world that profits from your confusion. So if you are here right now, if something pulled you to this, trust that. Because this is not random. The fact that you are hearing this tonight, at this exact moment in your life, is not coincidence. It is resonance. Something inside you already knows what I am about to say. You have felt it in those strange, quiet moments when the world goes still, and for just a breath, you sense that everything you thought was solid is actually shimmering, fluid, waiting for permission to rearrange. Let that land for a moment. Now let me tell you what most people get wrong about change. And I mean fundamentally, structurally wrong in a way that keeps them trapped for years, sometimes decades, sometimes entire lifetimes. Most people believe that reality is fixed and that they must work to alter it. They see the world as this immovable thing made of concrete circumstances and hard facts, and they believe their job is to push against it hard enough until something gives. So they push, they strategize, they grind, they set goals and make vision boards and repeat affirmations while secretly doubting every single word. And sometimes things shift a little, enough to keep them going, enough to make them think the pushing is working. But the deep stuff, the patterns that keep repeating, the relationships that keep cycling through the same pain, the financial ceiling that never quite breaks, the feeling of being fundamentally stuck no matter how much external progress they make. None of that changes. Because they are trying to rearrange the furniture in a house built on a cracked foundation, and no amount of redecorating will fix a structural problem. Here is what no one tells you. The foundation is not your habits. It is not your mindset. It is not even your beliefs. At least not in the way you think of beliefs. The foundation is your state, your energetic state, the frequency at which your nervous system is vibrating moment to moment, day to day, night to night. And most critically, the frequency at which you exist when your conscious mind finally lets go. When you fall asleep. This is where everything changes. There is a window that opens every single night of your life. A window most people sleepwalk right through without ever realizing what it is. In the moments just before sleep, as your brainwave patterns shift from beta to alpha to theta, something extraordinary happens. The analytical mind, that relentless gatekeeper that spends all day filtering your experience and telling you what is possible and what is not, that gatekeeper steps aside. It does not shut down entirely. It simply loosens its grip. And in that loosening, in that softening, a doorway opens directly into the subconscious field where your reality is actually being generated. Think about that. Every night you are given direct access to the operating system that runs your life, the programming that determines what you notice and what you ignore, what you attract and what you repel, what feels possible and what feels permanently out of reach. Every single night that door swings open, and every single night most people walk right past it because they are scrolling their phone or replaying the anxieties of the day or falling asleep to the television, filling that sacred threshold with noise. But what if tonight you did something different? What if tonight, instead of filling that space with distraction, you filled it with intention? Not forced intention, not desperate wanting, but the quiet, clear, coherent signal of someone who already knows who they are becoming. Someone who is not asking reality to change, but is instead changing the frequency from which reality is being projected. If this is already opening something in you, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep going deeper together in future videos. Let me take you deeper into this, because the science here is extraordinary, and it converges with ancient wisdom in ways that should stop you in your tracks. Your brain operates on measurable electrical frequencies. This is not metaphor. This is neuroscience you can observe on an EEG. During your normal waking state, you are primarily in beta, which is the frequency of active thinking, problem solving, analyzing, worrying. Beta is useful. It gets things done. But beta is also the frequency of separation. In beta, you experience yourself as a distinct entity moving through a fixed external world. You are here. The world is out there, and there is a gap between what you want and what you have. And that gap feels very real and very solid. As you begin to relax, as the day winds down and your body starts preparing for sleep, your brain shifts into alpha. Alpha is the bridge state. It is relaxation without sleep, awareness without analysis. In alpha, the boundary between you and the world begins to soften. This is why you often have your best ideas in the shower, or during a walk, or in those drowsy moments before bed. The gatekeeper is loosening. The filter is thinning. Information that was always there but could not get through suddenly starts to arrive. Then comes theta, and theta is where the real magic lives. Theta is the frequency of deep meditation, of hypnosis, of that liminal space between waking and sleeping that mystics and sages across every tradition have pointed to as the gateway. In theta, your subconscious mind is wide open. It is not just receptive, it is programmable. Whatever signal you are broadcasting in theta does not get filtered or analyzed or doubted. It goes straight in. It writes directly onto the substrate of your reality-generating system. This is not speculation. Research in neuroplasticity has shown that the brain's ability to rewire itself is dramatically enhanced in theta states. Studies on hypnosis and suggestibility confirm that the subconscious mind accepts new patterns most readily when the analytical mind is in this specific frequency range. And the ancient traditions knew this long before we had the instruments to measure it. The Egyptians practiced temple sleep. The yogic traditions developed yoga nidra specifically to access this threshold state. Indigenous cultures around the world used drumming and chanting to induce theta frequencies for healing and vision. Every wisdom tradition on this planet independently discovered the same doorway, and it opens for you every single night. If this idea of conscious frequency and the theta doorway is resonating with you, I go so much deeper into the complete system of frequency transmission and conscious broadcasting in my book Beyond the Frequencies, A Quantum Guide to Consciousness Mastery. What we are touching on tonight is just one layer of a much larger architecture of transformation that unfolds across 9 master frequencies, taking you from survival static all the way to becoming the broadcast itself. It is linked in the pinned comment below. So what does this mean practically? What does it look like to actually use this window instead of sleeping through it? Here is where I need you to let go of everything you think you know about manifestation and affirmation and positive thinking. Because what I am describing is not about repeating words you do not believe. It is not about forcing yourself to feel something you do not feel. That approach fails precisely because it creates internal conflict. When your conscious mind says one thing and your nervous system says another, the nervous system wins every time. Every time. Your body is a more honest broadcaster than your thoughts will ever be. And the field, the quantum field, the unified field, whatever you want to call the intelligent substrate from which all experience emerges, it does not respond to your words. It responds to your signal, your actual felt sense electromagnetic signal. So the practice is not about thinking the right thoughts. It is about becoming the right frequency. And here is the part that most people are not ready to hear. You do not become a new frequency by adding something. You become it by removing what is in the way. The frequency you are seeking, the one that corresponds to the life you know in your bones you are meant to be living, that frequency is already present within you. It is not something you need to acquire or achieve or earn. It is your original signal. The one that was broadcasting clearly before the world taught you to be afraid, before the experiences of rejection and failure and loss layered static over your natural transmission, before you learned to shrink your field to match the expectations of people who had already shrunk theirs. Your work is not construction. It is excavation. It is not about building a new self. It is about uncovering the self that was always there beneath the noise. I want to pause here and ask you something. What is the one pattern in your life that keeps repeating no matter what you try? Drop it in the comments. Not to dwell on it, but to name it. Because naming it is the first step to releasing it at the threshold tonight. And the night is when the excavation happens most naturally. Because at night, the noise finally quiets. The roles you play during the day dissolve. The masks come off. The social performance ends. And what is left, what is always left when everything else falls away, is the raw signal of your being. The question is simply this: what are you doing with that signal in those final moments before sleep takes you? Let me walk you through what happens when you begin to use this window consciously. And I want you to understand that what I am describing is not a technique in the way you usually think of techniques. It is more like a remembering. A returning to something your body already knows how to do. Tonight when you lie down, instead of reaching for your phone, instead of letting the mind replay the day or rehearse tomorrow, I want you to do something radical in its simplicity. I want you to feel the version of yourself that already exists on the other side of the shift you are seeking. Not think about it. Feel it. There is an enormous difference, and that difference is everything. Thinking about what you want keeps you in beta. It keeps the analytical mind engaged. It keeps the gatekeeper at the door. And the gatekeeper will immediately start generating objections. How will this happen? When will it happen? What if it does not happen? You know this voice. You have heard it 1,000 times. It is the voice that has kept you circling the same territory for years. But feeling, genuine embodied feeling, that bypasses the gatekeeper entirely. When you feel something in your body, your nervous system does not distinguish between an experience that is happening externally and one that is being generated internally. This is not philosophy. This is measurable neuroscience. Brain imaging studies have shown that vividly imagined experiences activate the same neural networks as lived experiences. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between something you are experiencing and something you are deeply feeling from the inside out. So when you lie down tonight and you begin to feel, not think about, but actually feel in your body what it would be like to wake up tomorrow as someone whose life has already shifted, something remarkable begins to happen. Your nervous system starts to reorganize around that signal. Your heart rhythm changes. Your brainwave patterns shift. The electromagnetic field your heart is broadcasting, which extends several feet beyond your body and has been measured by the HeartMath Institute and other research organizations, that field begins to carry a different signature. And that signature is what the quantum field reads. That is what reality responds to. Not your vision board, not your affirmation, your actual embodied signal. Pause and breathe into that for a moment. This is why one night can change everything. Not because something magical happens while you sleep, although something extraordinary does happen while you sleep, but because when you consciously choose your frequency at the threshold of sleep, you are planting a seed directly into the most fertile soil that exists. You are bypassing every defense mechanism, every limiting belief, every fear-based pattern that normally intercepts your intentions during the day. You are speaking directly to the intelligence that builds your cells, regulates your heartbeat, and orchestrates the unfathomably complex symphony of biological processes that keep you alive without any conscious effort on your part. That intelligence, the one that knows how to heal a wound and grow a child and turn food into energy and coordinate trillions of cellular operations simultaneously, that intelligence is listening. And at the threshold of sleep, it is listening more closely than at any other time. Now I want to go even deeper, because there is a layer to this that connects to the very nature of what reality is and how it actually operates at the most fundamental level. Quantum physics has revealed something that still disturbs many physicists to this day. At the subatomic level, particles do not exist in definite states until they are observed. Before observation, a particle exists as a wave of probability. It is not in one place. It is in all possible places simultaneously. It is only when a conscious observer interacts with it that the wave collapses into a single definite state, a single definite reality. Read that again in your mind. Reality at its most fundamental level does not become definite until consciousness interacts with it. This is not fringe science. This is the foundation of quantum mechanics. The double-slit experiment, which has been replicated thousands of times over nearly a century, demonstrates this conclusively. When no one is watching, particles behave as waves of possibility. When someone observes, they become definite particles in definite locations. Consciousness is not a passive witness to reality. It is an active participant in its creation. Now extend this understanding from the subatomic to the macroscopic, from the particle to the person, from the laboratory to your life. If consciousness collapses possibility into reality at the quantum level, what is it doing at the level of your daily experience? What wave of possibility is your consciousness collapsing every single moment of every single day? And more importantly, what determines which possibility gets selected from the infinite field of potential? Here's the answer that changes everything. The possibility that collapses into your reality is the one that matches your frequency, your state, your signal. Not the one you want, not the one you think about, the one you are vibrationally aligned with at the deepest level of your being. This is why two people can live in the same city, work in the same field, have access to the same opportunities, and experience completely different realities. It is not luck. It is not talent. It is not even effort, though effort plays a role. It is frequency. It is the signal they are broadcasting from the core of their nervous system, most of which was programmed before they were 7 years old, most of which operates completely below the threshold of conscious awareness, most of which runs on autopilot 24 hours a day, including and especially during sleep. Your subconscious mind processes approximately 11 million bits of information per second. Your conscious mind handles about 50. That means 99.9% of your reality processing is happening below the level of your awareness. And the programs running that processing were installed during the first 7 years of your life when your brain was operating primarily in theta, the same frequency you return to every night at the edge of sleep. Do you see the symmetry? Do you see the doorway? The programs were installed in theta, and they can be rewritten in theta. Every night you return to the same state in which your deepest programming was originally laid down. Every night you have the opportunity to update the operating system, not by fighting the old programs, not by analyzing them or understanding their origin story or processing them through years of talk therapy, but by simply introducing a new signal at the moment when the system is most receptive. This is what the ancient traditions meant when they spoke of dying and being reborn each night. It was not metaphor, it was instruction. Every night, the old self dissolves. Every night, there is an opportunity for a new self to emerge. The question is whether you are conscious enough at that threshold to participate in the process, or whether you are letting the old programs simply reload by default. Most people let them reload. Most people fall asleep in the same state they have been in all day, worried, stressed, replaying problems, feeling insufficient. And so the same programs boot up again the next morning. The same patterns run, the same reality generates, and they wonder why nothing changes despite all their effort. But you are not most people. You are here. You are listening. And something in you recognizes what I am saying not as new information, but as a remembering of something you have always known. Have you ever had a moment, maybe just a flash, where you felt the version of yourself that exists beyond all of this struggle? Tell me about it in the comments. I read every single one, and your words might be exactly what someone else here needs to hear tonight. So let me give you the practice. And I want to be clear that this is not complicated. The mind wants it to be complicated because complexity gives the mind something to do, something to analyze, something to get right or wrong. But this is not a mind practice. This is a being practice. And being is the simplest thing in existence. It is what you are when you stop trying to be anything. Tonight, when you lie down and close your eyes, begin by simply noticing your breath. Not controlling it. Not breathing in any special pattern. Just noticing. Feel the air enter your body. Feel your chest expand. Feel the gentle release of the exhale. This alone begins to shift you from beta to alpha. The simple act of turning attention inward, of becoming the observer of your own experience rather than the thinker of your own thoughts. This is the beginning of the shift. As you settle into this noticing, allow your body to become heavy. Feel the weight of your limbs against the bed. Feel gravity holding you. You do not need to relax. Relaxation is not something you do. It is what happens when you stop doing. So just stop doing, stop managing, stop planning, stop rehearsing. Let everything go. Not because you should, but because in this moment nothing needs to be held. Now here's the key. As you feel yourself sinking into that delicious heaviness, as the thoughts begin to slow and the day begins to dissolve, bring your attention to your heart. Not your head, your heart. Place your awareness in the center of your chest and begin to generate a feeling. Not a thought about a feeling, an actual felt sense in your body. The feeling of already being the person you know you are becoming. The feeling of waking up tomorrow and knowing that something fundamental has shifted. Not hoping it has shifted. Knowing. The way you know the sun will rise. The way you know your own name. That kind of knowing. What does that feel like in your body? Where do you feel it? Is it warmth? Is it expansion? Is it a lightness in your chest? Or a tingling in your hands? Or a sense of spaciousness behind your eyes? Whatever it is, wherever it lives, go there. Breathe into it. Let it grow, not with effort, with permission. You are not creating this feeling. You are allowing a feeling that has always been available to you to finally surface now that the noise has quieted enough for it to be heard. This is your signal. This is the frequency that rewrites the code. And you are broadcasting it directly into the theta state, directly into the subconscious, directly into the operating system that generates your moment-to-moment experience of reality. Stay with this feeling as long as you can. Do not worry if thoughts intrude. They will. That is what thoughts do. Simply notice them and return to the feeling. The thoughts are the old program trying to run. The feeling is the new program being installed. Every time you notice a thought and return to the feeling, you are strengthening the new neural pathway. You are literally rewiring your brain in real time. And then let sleep take you. Do not try to stay awake. Do not try to maintain the feeling through sheer will. Just let it be the last thing you feel as consciousness fades. Let it be the flavor of your descent into sleep. Because what you carry across that threshold is what your subconscious will process and integrate throughout the entire night. 7 to 8 hours of deep neurological restructuring organized around the signal you chose to broadcast at the doorway. One night. That is all it takes to begin. Now I want to address something because I can feel the question forming. You are wondering if this really works. You are wondering if one night can actually make a difference after years or decades of ingrained patterns. And that doubt, that very reasonable, very logical doubt, is the gatekeeper I mentioned earlier doing its job. The analytical mind's function is to protect you from false hope, from disappointment, from looking foolish. And it does this by demanding proof before it will allow you to fully commit to anything. But here is the paradox. The proof comes after the commitment, not before. You cannot stand on the shore and wait for evidence that the water is warm before you wade in. The temperature reveals itself to those who enter. This is not blind faith. This is the fundamental structure of how consciousness and reality interact. The observer affects the observed. The expectation shapes the outcome. The signal determines the response. And I am not asking you to believe anything. I am asking you to try something. One night. That is all. Give yourself one night of conscious entry into sleep. One night of choosing your frequency at the threshold. One night of feeling rather than thinking your way into the next day. And then notice what happens. Not with desperate searching for signs and synchronicities, but with the quiet attentiveness of someone who has planted a seed and knows that growth happens in its own time, in its own way, often underground and invisible long before anything breaks the surface. What most people report after even one night of this practice is subtle but unmistakable. They wake up differently, not dramatically, not with fireworks and revelations, but with a slight shift in the background feeling of being alive. A quiet steadiness that was not there before. A sense of being slightly more centered, slightly more present, slightly more available to the moment rather than lost in the stories about the moment. And from that shifted center, different choices emerge naturally. Not forced, not disciplined, natural. Because when you change the signal, you change what feels natural. And when you change what feels natural, you change everything. Let me tell you what happens when you do this consistently. Not as a rigid practice, but as a way of being. When entering sleep consciously becomes not something you do, but something you are. The changes compound, like interest accumulating in an account you forgot you had. The first night might bring a subtle shift in your morning. The second night deepens it. By the third or fourth night, you start to notice that your reactions during the day are different. Situations that used to trigger you pass through you like wind through an open window. Opportunities that were always there but invisible to your old frequency suddenly become obvious. People respond to you differently because you are broadcasting a different signal, and every nervous system in your vicinity is picking it up whether they are conscious of it or not. This is not magical thinking. This is basic physics applied to consciousness. Every object in the universe that has a temperature above absolute zero emits electromagnetic radiation. You are no exception. Your body, and particularly your heart, generates a measurable electromagnetic field. That field carries information. It carries the signature of your state. And other biological systems, other people, other living things are constantly reading that field and responding to it. When your field changes, the responses change. When the responses change, your experience of reality changes. Not because reality itself is different, but because you are interfacing with a different layer of its infinite possibility. This is what the mystics meant when they said, "Change yourself, and you change the world." They were not being poetic. They were being precise. Now I want to take you into even deeper territory, because there is something happening during sleep itself that most people have no idea about, and it is directly relevant to everything we have been discussing. When you sleep, your brain does not shut off. It enters a series of highly organized states that serve specific functions. During slow-wave sleep, which is the deepest phase of non-REM sleep, your brain is doing something remarkable. It is consolidating memories. It is pruning unnecessary neural connections. It is strengthening the pathways that were most active during the day. And critically, it is integrating new information into existing frameworks. This means that whatever signal you carried across the threshold of sleep does not just sit there passively. It gets actively processed, integrated, and woven into the fabric of your neural architecture. Your brain treats it the same way it treats any significant experience. It files it. It cross-references it. It builds connections between it and everything else you know and have experienced. By morning, it is not just a feeling you had before bed. It is part of you, part of your neural landscape, part of the lens through which you will perceive and interact with reality when you open your eyes. And during REM sleep, something even more extraordinary happens. Your brain enters a state of high activity that closely resembles waking consciousness, but with one crucial difference. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logical analysis and reality testing, is significantly dampened. This is why dreams can be so vivid and so strange without you questioning them while they are happening. Your brain is processing information without the filter of logic, without the gatekeeper. In this state, your subconscious mind is free to explore possibilities that your waking mind would immediately reject. It can try on new identities. It can rehearse new realities. It can solve problems by approaching them from angles that your rational mind would never consider. And the signal you planted at the threshold, the feeling of already being the person you are becoming, that signal is influencing all of this processing. It is biasing the entire nocturnal integration process toward the reality you chose. You are not just sleeping. You are being rebuilt. Every single night. The question has never been whether this process happens. It happens whether you participate in it or not. The question is whether you are going to consciously direct it or let it run on the same default programming it has been running on for years. There is something else I want you to understand, because it addresses one of the deepest fears that keeps people from truly committing to this kind of practice. The fear of letting go. The fear that if they stop managing and controlling and pushing and striving, everything will fall apart. That the only thing holding their life together is their constant vigilance and effort. I understand that fear. It is one of the most deeply programmed patterns in the human nervous system. The belief that you must earn your place in reality through constant effort. That if you stop performing, you will be abandoned. That if you stop controlling, chaos will consume you. This belief was probably installed very early, before you had words for it, before you even had a concept of self. It was installed through the felt experience of being a small being in a world that sometimes felt unsafe, and it has been running your life ever since. But here is the truth that lives on the other side of that fear. The universe does not require your effort to function. Your heart beats without your effort. Your cells divide without your effort. Galaxies spin and seasons change and flowers bloom without anyone managing the process. There is an intelligence operating at every level of existence that is infinitely more capable than your conscious mind. And that intelligence is not separate from you. It is you. It is the deepest layer of what you are. The part of you that existed before your name, before your story, before your first wound. When you let go at the threshold of sleep, you are not abandoning yourself. You are returning to yourself. You are dropping the exhausting pretense of being in charge and surrendering into the arms of the intelligence that has been sustaining you since before you drew your first breath. And from that surrender, from that profound letting go, something new can emerge. Not something you manufactured with your mind. Something that arises from a much deeper source. Something that carries the signature of wholeness rather than the fragmentation of fear-based effort. This is the shift. This is what happens in one night when you truly let go. Not a partial letting go where you release the surface tension, but keep gripping underneath. A real letting go. The kind where you feel yourself falling, and instead of reaching for something to hold on to, you let the falling happen. And you discover, as every mystic and sage has discovered, that the falling is the flying, that the letting go is the receiving, that the emptiness you feared is actually fullness beyond anything your mind could have constructed. I want to share something about the nature of time because it is relevant to why one night can create what years of effort could not. Your conscious mind experiences time as linear, past, present, future, a straight line moving in one direction. And within that linear framework, change must be gradual. You cannot go from here to there without crossing all the space in between. This is why the mind insists that transformation must take time, that you must earn it through sustained effort over months and years. But your subconscious mind does not experience time this way. In the subconscious, in the theta state, in the dream state, time is fluid, non-linear. A moment can contain a lifetime. A single feeling can rewrite decades of programming. This is why people sometimes have a single dream that changes the trajectory of their entire life. Why a single moment of deep meditation can dissolve a pattern that years of therapy barely touched. Why one night of truly conscious sleep can create a shift that your waking effort could not produce in 1,000 days. In the theta state, you are operating outside the constraints of linear time. You are accessing the field of all possibility where every version of you exists simultaneously. The version of you that is stuck in the old pattern. The version of you that has already transcended it. The version of you that never had it in the first place. They are all there, all real, all available. And the one that becomes your waking reality is the one you tune your signal to at the threshold. This is not about creating something new. It is about selecting from what already exists. It is about tuning your internal radio to a different station and discovering that the music you have been longing to hear has been playing all along on a frequency you simply were not tuned to. Feel that. Let that settle into your body, not as an idea, but as a felt reality. Right now, in this moment, every version of your life that you can imagine and infinite versions you cannot imagine all exist as probability waves in the quantum field. They are not hypothetical. They are not fantasy. They are as real as the reality you are currently experiencing. The only difference is which one your consciousness is currently collapsed into, which one your signal is currently tuned to. And tonight, you get to change the station. Now, there is one more piece of this that I want to address because it is perhaps the most important and the most commonly overlooked. It is not enough to do this practice. You must become this practice. There is a difference between performing a technique and embodying a truth. A technique is something you do at certain times in certain ways. An embodiment is something you are at all times in all ways. The practice I have described tonight is a doorway. But the doorway is not the destination. The destination is a fundamental shift in your relationship with reality itself. A shift from being someone who is trying to get something from life to being someone who is expressing something through life. From being a receiver waiting for circumstances to deliver happiness, to being a transmitter broadcasting the frequency of your deepest truth regardless of circumstances. When this shift takes root, and it can take root in a single night if the surrender is deep enough, everything changes. Not because you changed anything, but because you stopped being the person who needed things to change. And in that stopping, in that profound acceptance of what is combined with the clear broadcasting of what you know yourself to be, reality has no choice but to reorganize. Because reality is not separate from you. It never was. It is your consciousness projected outward. It is your frequency made visible. It is your inner state expressed as outer circumstance. Change the state and the circumstance must follow, not because of some cosmic law of attraction that rewards good vibes, but because state and circumstance are not two things. They are one thing experienced from two perspectives, the inside and the outside of the same reality. And you cannot change one without changing the other because they are not separate. This is the secret that hides in plain sight. This is what I am not supposed to say because it renders so much of what the world sells you completely unnecessary. You do not need another course. You do not need another teacher. You do not need another book or program or retreat. You need one night of honest, deep, conscious surrender into the truth of what you already are. One night of feeling your way past the gatekeeper into the field where your reality is actually being generated. One night of choosing a different signal and trusting it enough to let sleep carry it into the depths of your being where it can do its work. Everything else, every technique and strategy and method, is just a different way of pointing you toward this one simple truth. You are the creator of your experience, not metaphorically, literally, at the quantum level, at the neurological level, at the electromagnetic level, at every level that can be measured and many that cannot. You are generating the reality you inhabit through the signal you broadcast, and you have the power to change that signal tonight. If this message reached you at the right moment, consider sharing it with someone who is stuck in the cycle of pushing and striving and wondering why nothing changes. When you share something like this, you are not just passing along information. You are extending your own frequency shift outward, creating a ripple in the collective field that reinforces the very transformation you are stepping into. What you give signal to in others, you strengthen in yourself. So here is what I am going to ask of you. And I am asking not because I need anything from you, but because you need this from yourself. Tonight, give yourself this gift. Turn off the screens an hour before bed. Let your nervous system begin its natural descent. When you lie down, do not reach for distraction. Instead, reach inward. Find the feeling of the life you know is yours, not the one you have been living out of habit and fear and programming. The one that calls to you in quiet moments. The one that flashes in your awareness like lightning and then disappears before your mind can grab it. That one. It is not fantasy. It is memory. Memory of a future that already exists, waiting for you to tune to its frequency. Feel it in your body. Let it fill your chest. Let it warm your hands. Let it soften your face. Let it be the last thing you know before sleep takes you, and then let go completely. Trust the intelligence that keeps your heart beating to take it from here. Trust the same force that turns acorns into oak trees and embryos into human beings to know what to do with the seed you have planted. And when you wake up tomorrow, do not immediately reach for your phone. Do not immediately begin the day's performance. Instead, lie still for a moment. Feel what is there. Notice what is different. It may be subtle, a slight shift in the quality of your attention, a quiet confidence that was not there yesterday, a sense that something has moved even if you cannot name what it is. Trust that. That is the first evidence of the new signal taking hold. That is the first green shoot breaking through the soil. and then do it again tomorrow night, and the night after that. Not as a chore, not as a discipline, but as the most natural thing in the world. Because this is what you were designed to do. This is what sleep is actually for. Not just physical restoration, although that happens too, but consciousness evolution, nightly death and rebirth. The continuous opportunity to release who you were and step into who you are becoming. You have been given this gift every single night of your life. Tonight is simply the night you begin to use it. Before I leave you with this, I want to say one more thing. What you are feeling right now, whatever is moving through your body as you listen to these words, that is real. That is not the script doing something to you. That is you recognizing something that was always true. The words are just the catalyst. The recognition is yours. The feeling is yours. The shift is yours. It has always been yours. You did not come here to live a small life. You did not come here to repeat the same patterns until your body gives out. You did not come here to be a passive recipient of circumstances beyond your control. You came here to create, to explore, to expand, to discover what happens when consciousness turns its attention toward its own infinite potential and says yes. Tonight, say yes. Not with your mind, with your whole being, with every cell, with every breath, with the full weight of your presence dropped into the present moment at the threshold of sleep. One night, that is all it takes to begin. And the beginning is everything. If this resonated with something deep inside you, if you felt a shift even while listening, leave a word in the comments. Just one word that captures what you are feeling right now. And subscribe to this channel, because this is not the last time we will meet at this depth. This is just the beginning of a conversation that has no end. A conversation between you and the deepest truth of what you are. I will see you on the other side of tonight. And tomorrow when you open your eyes, remember, you are not the same person who fell asleep. You never were. Every morning is a resurrection. The only question is what you choose to resurrect. Choose wisely, feel deeply, let go completely, and watch what happens.